What if I told you that the difference between sending an email that makes $0 and $10,000 is just within a few words? In this episode, I'll teach you how to craft email subject lines that not only grab attention, but also drive clicks and boost your sales. These are the same techniques that I've used to help e-commerce brands increase their revenue through email marketing over the last 15 years while running my agency and also working for a half dozen of the biggest ad agencies in the world prior to that. So in this video, we're gonna talk about everything that you need to do to master writing subject lines for your email marketing. And with that being said, let's get into it. So we're gonna start off by talking about why subject lines are so important in the first place. Well, first off, they're the first impression that anyone's gonna see when they open an email. The whole objective of a subject line is to sell the open. Because if we don't sell the open, we don't get anyone to open the email, no one's even gonna see it. We put in so much work into planning, into strategy, into copywriting, design, building out these campaigns, growing the list, maintaining the list, paying for the platforms, that if we can't get anyone to actually open the email, then what's the point in doing it in the first place? So obviously, the first impression of your email's gonna be the subject line. And based off of how you write that subject line is going to impact if someone actually opens it or not. Overall, compelling subject lines are the number one thing you can do to boost your open rates and drive more traffic to your site. If we can't get them to open, we can't get them to click. And if we can't get them to click, we can't get them to buy. Without a strong subject line, even the best emails are gonna go unread, and we're just wasting our time and our readers' time at the end of the day. So here's a couple of the most common mistakes that we see with subject lines that you definitely want to avoid. The first thing you want to do is avoid subject lines that are just way too generic. Subject lines like big sale inside don't spark any curiosity and aren't going to get anyone to open. You're competing with thousands of other brands that every one of your subscribers is potentially opted in for communication for as well. And if you don't do things to spark their interest and their curiosity, you're going to go dead and you're going to go unread. Next is overusing clickbait. Misleading subject lines damage the trust that you have with your customer and also increase your unsubscribe rate. Clickbait will also potentially put you in the spam folder and it will impact your deliverability. The more you can do to stay away from clickbaity emails, the better, because people are smart. Your customers, your subscribers are smart, and they can tell the difference between something that is genuine and something that they really want to read and something that's just going to try to spam and open. Next is ignoring mobile users. Long subject lines are getting cut off on mobile devices and no one's able to read the whole thing. So when it comes to writing subject lines, you need to make sure you keep that character count down so someone's going to have the same experience on a mobile device as they are on a desktop device. So now we're going to talk about the formula for writing high converting subject lines in the first place. Step 1, use power words that evoke emotion. So a couple of examples of power words are exclusive, secret, urgent, limited time. These types of words are going to help trigger that emotional response that your subscriber is having when they read your subject line. Also, you're gonna wanna emphasize urgency and scarcity with gamification. For example, gamification is using time and using offers to get someone to do something in the future. If you've ever seen an offer, for example, when some brand's running a flash sale email, let's say they launched a flash sale in the morning, it's running until midnight, they're gonna put in another campaign in the afternoon that says only X amount of hours left before the offer's gone. It's the same with, let's say, like for instance, during the holiday season, we ran a lot of campaigns up until the last day to guarantee holiday delivery. A week out, 2 days out, 24 hours out. We ran these because that gamification of experience is now telling the customer, if you don't take an action by this time, you won't be able to get this, right? Gamification, urgency, scarcity, FOMO, your customers need to be told what they can and cannot do. And if they want to hop on the train and be a part of the party, they need to take an action now if they want that offer or they want that product before a specific time. Step 2, create curiosity and intrigue with your subject lines. A great example of this is you won't believe what just dropped. That's a great lead into I can't imagine what's behind that curtain. You won't believe what just dropped is a great way to explain, hey, we just dropped something really cool. We just got a new product and you want to be a part of it. Or you can ask a question. Are you ready for an upgrade? Those are great ways to spark curiosity and kind of launch the light on a question before you dive into everything else. Step 3 is personalizing content for your audience. Use the recipient's name in subject lines. I can't tell you how easy this is. Remember, you guys are paying a lot of money for the ESP you're using, and it's very simple to add in that first name and tailor that experience with someone. I'll tell you this, that our top cold outbound emails that we send at Breadloaf when we're prospecting to new leads is actually putting in the person's name into the subject line. So overall, an example of this would be, John, your next favorite product is here. Super simple. John, we're calling out that avatar, that person, and we're saying your next favorite product's here. You can also segment based off of past purchasers' interest in different triggers. Another one of the reasons I love Klaviyo, we have access to so much data in response to what people have done, what products they've bought. When's the last time they bought? How many emails have they opened in the last 60 days? We want to leverage that data as much as possible so we tailor better experiences for our one-off campaigns. Step number 5 is including numbers and specific details within your subject lines. For example, 5 simple ways to save more on your next order. This advertorial style subject line is a great way to spark interest and get the payoff. This is a great hook because your customer always wants to know what the end result is. When you say 5 simple ways to save more on your next order, that is now triggering an emotional response with curiosity, saying, I wonder what that is. That's a great way to get them to open, read through them, and then buy. This advertorial style piece works really well for content marketing as well. Like I mentioned, let's say you're an outdoor brand like our client, Yo Colorado, 5 top ski destinations for MLK weekend in 2025, right? We got an event coming up in the future. Here's the top 5 ski destinations in this year. It's very relevant to timing and what's happening in the world. And then from there, you can tie in your products to that content. Next, we're going to dive into the types of subject lines that actually sell the click. The first type is urgency based. An example of this is act fast, sale ends in 2 hours. The next one, curiosity driven. We have a surprise for you. Adding an emoji right there of an actual gift box. The next one, solution oriented. Finally, an easier way to organize your day. The next one, social proof. Join 10,000 plus happy customers today. And the last one, personalized offers. Jane, here's your exclusive discount. These are all great examples of how you can use these different types of subject lines for different campaigns in the future. And lastly, let's talk about a few tips that you can use to continuously improve in the future. The first is A/B testing subject lines regularly to see what resonates the most. A/B testing is something that gets overused a lot, but when it comes to subject lines, this is the only way you're going to be able to find what triggers really work best with your audience. So I recommend picking a specific parameter that you're looking to test within subject lines and test that same subject line. Keep notes on that testing framework to actually give yourself enough data to analyze. Testing one type of subject line over another one time is not enough. You need to do it for at least 4 to 8 weeks to get any significant data. And then once you have that data, you can make assumptions based off the analysis to see if that actually worked and you have some type of way to move forward in the future with building better campaigns. Next, you want to analyze open rates to identify patterns in successful subject lines. So once you have some data, right, and you actually have some feedback, you can start making assumptions on what works and what doesn't work. But until you have that information, it's challenging to actually know what's working and what's not. And that's why we always want to start off by building an aggressive A/B testing protocol. We can actually move forward from there. And lastly, use tools like CoSchedule's Headline Analyzer to scroll your subject lines. This is a great way to implement a tool. I'm going to put it in the show notes before to actually give your subject line a score and see how well it's going to perform against other subject lines in the future. If you're ready to take your email marketing to the next level, grab my free audit in the description below. My team and I will spend the next week and a half auditing your whole retention ecosystem. We're going to provide a full report. I'm going to personally present it to you on a 45-minute Zoom call. And at the end of that audit, you can see if we might be a good opportunity to work together. And if not, I'm still going to give you the full roadmap with all the action items that you need to be successful when it comes to your email and SMS marketing in 2025. And at the end of the day, hey, if you like this video, drop a comment below on your biggest takeaway, or if you have a question about anything we talked about, please leave a note and I promise you I will personally get back to you. I read every comment here. And as always, love you guys and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.